Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Unplug it and plug it back in. Hello. Yeah, I can. All right, that's better.
There's so many stipulations tonight. Jesus.
Hey, big chair. You got a big chair for a big man.
I know.
2
I
cup
like
holders.
I like it.
I only got 1 cup holder.
That's because you're demoted.
I'm the sidekick. I'm the Robin.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the PUDs Podcast. So what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
This is a little different than usual.
What's going on? The mobile podcasting unit made its way to Black Cat Studios, Rhode Island.
Yeah, so we're sitting here in Tiverton at a lovely new room in Josh's house. Nice and carpeted, so hopefully it gets us that nice sultry, not as echoey sound.
Yeah, it's very cozy.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice for
so
sure.
we impromptu setup here. Try to do the best I can to be accommodating.
Yeah, we broke everything down, moved it in a little nice plastic container I had. I think I threw up a picture on the social medias, and it was actually pretty easy to bring everything here.
Yeah.
It's not really that big of a problem.
Yeah. If you can fit it all in one bucket, it's not that bad.
And luckily, I'm made really good time here. It's like less than 30 minutes away. Granted, there's like been tornado warnings everywhere today up further north.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's that hurricane. Hurricane Lee's coming.
Yeah, it's going to graze us 150 miles offshore.
Yeah.
Luckily. All right.
You want to get into the scramble?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, you can start off. What'd you get up to this past week or so?
Let's see. So, this past weekend, we were over at your house for a lovely birthday party for Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, really didn't do too much. Kind of just hung out. We just did some stuff around the house and whatnot.
Yeah.
Didn't really get too
Watch
wild.
some football.
Yeah, just watched some football.
Yeah.
Did some cooking.
The Pats almost pulled off
They did.
a big upset.
They did. It could have been worse, I feel like, for the season opener.
Yeah.
So it was exciting at least.
I'm pretty excited because I didn't do cable, and so I went with YouTube TV, and they're giving like 21 days for free. So these next like 3 weeks, I get to see how it is, but they get all like the local, all the local channels and stuff like that, so I can watch all the sports.
Yeah, it's kind of tough that you can't get like Nessun by itself or things like that.
Yeah.
That's like the only time I get YouTube TV now is like during football season,
right?
Pretty much.
And
then the NCAA's.
That's why I went with them, because you can get Nessun, and it has NBC Sports Boston, so when it's basketball season, I can watch the Celtics. So yeah. That was the big sticking point for me.
Yeah, it's not bad. It used to be like, I remember when we first got it, when we moved into our house in like 2019, it was like $55 a month, and now it's like $85.
Yeah.
So it's gone up quite a bit.
Oh, is it 85?
Yeah, I think it's $85 a month, at least for now. And that's like the non 4K or whatever. That's what I was saying, dude. That's the one thing with the cut the cord is like, you got to be like diligent with subscriptions and stuff, because then you'll be like, oh shit, I'm spending $200 a month when I could have been just spending $200 a month and having cable. Like we fell into that trap for a bit, and we still do. Like I just try to I diligently try to like subscribe to like one thing at a time.
Yeah, I think the one I saw, I don't know, maybe there's different plans, but I think $74.99 is.
They might be giving you a better deal too.
Yeah.
As being
well, I think actually,
new customer.
If I sign up after the 21 days, I think it's like $64 or $62.99, and then after like the next 3 months, then it goes up to $72 or $74.99. Okay. So that's not bad.
I'm pretty sure it was $85 when I just renewed it. I might be wrong, but I'm sure they offer different deals. Yeah, because I keep leaving them and coming back.
Does anybody even have cable? Does anybody have cable anymore?
I mean, I know like our parents do.
Yeah, well, they're old.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's definitely becoming more and more common, I think, for people not to have cable. The last thing that is keeping people is like the news and like sports.
Right.
And even the local news is kind of a ridiculous one.
Right.
I can look at a weather app on my phone, and I don't have to listen to Tony Petrarca like blow everything up all the time.
You don't have to get through all the miserable stories to find out if it's going to be sunny on the weekend.
I have to listen about the cat that got stuck in a tree in Johnston that they rescued for the 25th time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm all set with cable. It is nice. Like, it's nice to be able to have the football games and all that stuff. But yeah, we decided not to even subscribe to any cable. And like, when we were living with Melissa's parents, we had 2 years without cable. It was only what we had subscriptions to. So, but yeah, we went on a little tangent there.
just a little bit.
Yeah. You forgot to talk about Ryland's birthday.
So I think we're toying with the topic tonight of a surprise big scramble.
Yeah, big
as
scramble.
the main topic, just because we have a lot of different stuff to touch
saving
upon.
It for the big one.
Yeah, and we'll go into some stuff that we've got. I think we've got some pretty fun stuff lined up for the fall that Josh has kind of been brainstorming.
That's what tonight's going to be, and I'll do my little scramble in a second. But tonight's going to be a kind of a fall preview. We have a lot of cool stuff lined up that we wanted to bring to you guys, so we kind of wanted to give everybody a little heads up on what to expect out of the PUD boys for the fall.
As it gets a little bit nipply out.
Yeah, it's gonna get cold real quick, so we wanted to kind of give everybody a preview of what we're gonna do, because we have some fun stuff lined up that we've been thinking of for a little bit. So.
Yes.
But
yeah. So yeah, I'll get into. But anyways, I'll get into Ryland's party when we kind of go over that.
Okay. So for me, yeah, we did Jeremiah's birthday party this past weekend, which was a blast. It's so tough to host a party and like actually get to talk to your friends.
You were playing like Grill Master the entire time.
Grill Master, and making sure everything's set up and good to go, and I can introduce myself because Jeremiah invited like his whole class. So the party went from a party of like 25, maybe 30 people to a party of 50.
Did the janitor show up too?
Yeah, the janitor. He invited the whole school. The janitor showed up. It was crazy, but no, I'm just kidding. The janitor didn't really show up.
That came because when we visited you a couple weeks back, as mentioned on our previous episode of the podcast, you were like joking that he went with a bunch of invitations and like it was supposed to be for like 8 people, and he gave away like all of them.
It was like 16.
Just like, I just let him have them.
He really did. He gave them to everybody. So, and most of those kids showed up. So there was like 20 kids in my backyard, like that in a house I've only been in for a few weeks. So it was a little stressful.
You invited Jerry, the bus monitor.
Yeah.
Clarence, the janitor.
No kidding. All the teachers.
Bessie, the lunch lady.
Yeah. It was everybody. But the hard part is like I remember talking to you, but my brain was like somewhere else. So
probably making sure you weren't burning anything.
Yeah.
It's important.
My brain was like, all right, I got to not burn this, but now these people are walking in. I don't know them. I want to introduce myself. I got to do all this stuff. And it's like, all right, good talk, Nick. I'm going to go back to being frantic for a minute. But yeah, but he had a great time. He didn't even stop and eat.
Yeah, you put on a good show.
Yeah.
Good show, a good party.
Good party.
It was a show watching you cook on that Blackstone.
Yeah.
A lot of burgers, a lot of dogs.
It was like, 36 burgers and 36 dogs, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot.
On the Blackstone. But I love that thing. But the real MVP is Adam and Katie, because they let us borrow that. They had an inflatable water slide. They let us borrow that, and that just kept those kids entertained.
That thing looked sweet, dude. That was really cool.
Yeah, that thing was awesome. Jeremiah did not stop playing on it. Like I said, he didn't even stop and eat. I made all those burgers and dogs. I don't think half the kids stopped to eat because they were having so much fun. So, yeah, he had a good time, and we enjoy hosting. We enjoy having people over. It's just kind of hectic when you don't really know everybody. It's a lot more chill if it was like only people that we knew. It's not people that like these are the kids that you're gonna continue the rest of your life with. Like, you want to make a good impression with their parents.
Yeah, like you're gonna probably, especially a small town like Tiverton, like you're gonna be seeing these people everywhere.
One of the guys was the town councilman, so
oh really?
I had to make
it in there.
Yeah. He was like, "Hey, do you?"
Does he listen to this podcast?
I don't know. He asked me. He was like, "Do you want any thoughts of joining politics?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Because I'm looking for somebody else to run with me," and I'm like.
Because nobody else wants to be councilman.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't want.
I could see you as a councilman.
I don't want. I'm sure I could do it, but I don't want no part of that, dude. I gotta learn what the town politics are first before I agree to.
It's probably a good. It's like, dude, I've only been here for like a month.
Yeah, I've been here for 15 minutes, dude. I'm not ready to commit myself to the politics of Tiverton. I have to pay for trash bags. I'm already out. Like, I already hate it. So. So yeah, we did that birthday party, and it was great. It was a great time. It was nice hanging out with everybody and seeing Jeremiah happy. He turned 5, so next year he starts kindergarten because of that hard cutoff on September 1st. So one more year of preschool, and some of the kids in his preschool he'll be going to kindergarten with. And like I said, these are all the kids he's going to be around for the next, 13 years until he graduates high school. So
hopefully he makes peace with all of them.
Yeah, he's a little ladies man too, so he's gotta calm down. His teacher said today that he's like the heartthrob of the class, but he also
I didn't know you could have a heartthrob in preschool. It's
crazy, but he doesn't want like no part of it. Like he doesn't look for that kind of attention. Like all the girls will line up to hug him before he leaves, and he's like stiffens up. He like just does. He's not into it. He's like, I gotta leave. I gotta go home and be Spider-Man. I got no time for this. So
I gotta work on my moves.
Yeah, please let me be. Let me get out of here. But yeah,
thanks, but no thanks.
Right. But let's get into the big scramble, the big topic of the day.
Do you want to do Nick's music moment first?
Oh yes, we should do that. You went through the trouble of writing it down, so you should do it.
I'm just here all sad, holding my little notepad, just like.
I'm sorry, but Nick's, okay. Let's get into Nick's music moment.
Alright, let's do it. So, these are Nick's music moment picks for episode 14 of the PUDs Podcast.
14.
Oh, yeah, 14. Teenagers now. We're teenagers. Getting moody, listening to Nirvana in our bedrooms and hiding weed. Maybe that was just me.
That was probably just you.
Anyways. Alright, so the first song is called Our Last Shot. It's by a band called Circa Survive. Been listening to them for a long time. They're sort of a punk post-hardcore band. Their lead singer, Anthony Green, was in Sowing, then he formed Circa Survive, and he also has some solo career material. But just a really cool song. The album's called Two Dreams. It was 2 separate EPs they released back to back, I think last year, and then they ended up combining them into one album. So just some good stuff on there. A little bit different for Circa Survive. I think it's not as hard. This song in particular is pretty long, and it kind of just builds really nicely. And really enjoy it. It's a fairly recent album, too. I think it came out last year. The next song is pretty fresh. It's called New Order T-Shirt by The National, one of my favorite bands. The album is called First 2 Pages of Frankenstein, also just came out this year. This is just a really catchy song, probably one of the singles off this new album. This new album in particular, like I'm going to be honest, like I don't think it's as good as a lot of their other stuff that they've been doing and they've done. But this is still a pretty cool song. It's been on the radio a bunch.
You went to go see a National concert, right?
Yeah, I've seen them 3 times. Yeah, I really like them a lot. I like kind of their earlier albums a little bit. I think they've lost me a little bit. I think I touched upon that on our musical episode.
Are they getting too poppy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not as much guitar. I wouldn't even say too poppy. It's just I just think the writing's not as good. Like their songs aren't as catchy, and they're starting to do a lot of collaboration stuff, which is cool. Like there's a song on this with Taylor Swift and things, but it's like at some point I'm like
they're selling out, man.
No, but there's one with like Sufjan Stevens. It's not even just like pop artists though, but it's just like I'm just like kind of like, and they did that on their last album too. There was a lot of different vocalists and stuff, and I'm just like I just want to like hear you guys go back to like I appreciate the trying to do different stuff, but I don't know. They're losing me a little bit. They're losing me. They're selling out. They're selling out. I'm insecure listening to them now. All right, the next song is a throwback, but it's a really good one. I've been listening to this album lately. It's called Red Rain, and it's by Peter Gabriel, who was one of the original members of kind of Genesis before Phil Collins joined and stuff. The album's called So. Came out like in the late 80s. Not too much before we were born, actually, it was on the radio a bunch when we were growing up and stuff. It's probably one of his most popular songs. Hadn't listened to it in a while and was kind of throwing it on this album this weekend when I was just chilling and hanging out and kind of forgot how much I really enjoyed it. It's got Sledgehammer on it, which a lot of people know, and a couple big hits and stuff. I think it has Sledgehammer on it.
Yep.
Right, number 4 is Emergency Contact by a band called Pierce the Veil, and the album's called The Jaws of Life. This is just sort of a pop punk sort of song. A lot of their stuff's kind of harder, Pierce the Veil, but this song's not quite as hard, I should say. A little bit of screaming here and there and things like that, but you probably like this song.
I've actually, this is one of the bands I've actually heard of. I've heard of Pierce the Veil,
Have you heard this song?
No, I haven't heard that song.
It's a good song. Like I put it on and Ash was like, oh, I feel like this is like from the mid 2000s or something. Yeah. It's a good song. It's one of those like you'll probably get sick of it after you listen to it like 15 or 20 times.
See, that's my thing. I don't know. Like when it comes to music, if it's a song I like, I don't think I ever get sick of it because it's just like if I truly enjoy the song, like I never get sick of it. I'll replay it.
Yeah, I'm being really harsh for like picking this song because the album's actually not too bad either, but it's one of those where I'm like, I'd say it's like a guilty pleasure. Like I get it's not like a very complex song at all, and like my brain's gonna be like, this. What is this? It's like if you eat too many Doritos.
It's not artsy enough for you, Nick.
No,
it can't just be a little basic.
Yeah, it's a basic song.
Yeah,
but it's still,
let it be basic. Basic songs are okay, man.
It's a good tune. It's a good tune. It's like American Pie.
Yeah.
And the last song is another sort of throwback. Listened to this band a lot, I should say, when I was in college. So pseudo throwback, at least to that period of my life. But the song is called Sowing Season, or in parentheses, yeah, because in the song he just shouts yeah a bunch. But it's by Brand New, and the album name is a great album name called The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me, which is quite a mouthful.
You like that one?
Yeah.
It is a mouthful.
Yes, it is. The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. It's got a cool album cover and stuff, and this album's awesome. It's probably one of my top 20 albums like ever. A lot of good songs on it, and this is the opening song on it, and it opens up hard, some screaming and stuff, and it's got good lyrics, and it's just gets you in the mood.
Brand new.
And it's cool. It's got like a sort of guy dressed up in a Grim Reaper costume and stuff on it, so it's kind of fallish and Halloweenish.
Nice.
Yeah. Getting
us right into the fall preview.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Let's go, Brand New.
Even though you tried to skip Nick's music moment.
I did.
Do you want to get into the Super Scramble?
Yeah, that was Nick's music moment. We're going to get into the Denny's Big Scramble now.
Denny's Big Scramble. All right. Yeah, so do you want to let everybody know what we've got lined up, kind of for your 2 ideas for some sort of upcoming episodes?
Yeah, so we're going to do like I said, this episode's going to be a fall preview. So we have some stuff lined up before fall. The winds of change. The leaves are changing. Before we even get into that, though, I want to say, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out our last episode. I know it's 2.5 hours long, and it's kind of a slog, but if you break it up into segments, it's really good. Like, Ashley and Nick did a really good job finishing and rounding out their New Hampshire 48 4,000 footer list. They did a really good job describing all those hikes and recollecting it, and it was nice to walk back down memory lane with you guys, because I remember when you guys were doing that, so it was fun to listen to. I know a lot of people enjoy listening to you guys talk about hiking. We actually got a shout out.
Yeah, I wanted to mention PUDs. Wow, that's our podcast. PUDs Podcast is our podcast.
Yep, that is
Slasher
ours.
Podcast too. I'm a really avid fan of Mike and Stomp. Their show has been awesome. I don't know how long they've been going now, for years, but I've been listening to it, I think, since it started. Kind of following from the joke, sounds like a search and rescue Facebook page where people used to just tag people on other hiking pages when they would post something as sort of a mocking, this sounds like a search and rescue, because they'd be posting something stupid. But it's come a super long way since then. Really big fan of you guys. I saw Stomp actually tagged us on their story, and means you're listening to us, which is kind of intimidating, frankly, because I really enjoy your podcast and kind of really enjoy listening to you guys. I guess it's only fair if I've been listening to you guys for like a couple of years now.
Now it's your turn. Tell us.
So I did want to say heartfelt thanks for just giving a shout out. We noticed quite a bump in our downloads over the weekend after that was shared in the story. Kind of notably, because I was kind of looking at the stats, and I'm like, why do we have like, I don't know if we had like 30 or 40 downloads, and like a lot of them were the pilot episode, which was pretty wild. So thanks Slasher Podcast. Thanks Stomp for sharing us out. And this is Nick saying hi, and Josh as well. And I hope you enjoy our podcast and continue listening to it.
We appreciate that. And it's cool to know that, like, and I guess that was my point of saying, like, the hiking community is recognizing, like, you're on here telling your story, so there's something that other people can take from those stories. And that's why, like I said, go back, take a listen to Ashley and Nick, both parts, part 1 and part 2, talking about their adventures hiking the 48 4,000 footers, because there's a lot, and especially if you're into hiking, there's a lot that you can learn from it, and there's a lot of, like, just hearing the stories about it. It's just cool to listen to, and like I said, it's cool to know that other people in the hiking community are listening to it and sharing it with their people that might not be tuned into us yet. So I thought that was awesome.
I was stoked for sure. I mean, obviously it's called the PUDs Podcast, which is sort of a hiking term. Yeah. So I'm not sure. And to be fair, we do have a tinge of hiking on many episodes, but I think we'll probably try to intersperse like specific hiking episodes maybe occasionally if I have things to talk about with Ash, or if we do something, or if we get Adam on or things like that. But it is about a variety of topics, but it's kind of cool to see that shared out. And I do want to mention that in no way, shape, or form did I share the podcast with them or do anything. Yeah. Like they might have seen, I might have followed them, or they followed us. I want to say they followed us before I followed them or something like that. But cool. It was just kind of cool.
Let's get out there. Yeah. And good job, Ashley. Good job again filling in for me. But yeah, so that, since we're on the topic of hiking, so one of the fall topics that we'll be talking about within the next few weeks is, I know Nick's going to be going up to do some trail maintenance at the end of September.
Yeah, hopefully, weather willing.
And also that same week, friend of the podcast, Adam and I will be going away for a men's camping trip through our church up in New Hampshire. So we'll be actually up there doing the... what was it, Boulder Loop Trail?
Yeah, the Boulder Loop Trail.
We'll be doing the Boulder Loop Trail, and we'll be camping. So not only will I be hiking, I will also be camping, like full on throwing a tent out. He's
got my tent.
Yeah, I'm borrowing Nick's tent, and I'll be doing some camping. So I'm sure there's gonna be some stories coming from that.
The extended looks really good right now, but it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, for those of you that don't know where it are, you can look it up. It's on All Trails. Adam showed me, but it's sort of southwest of the Moat Mountains. 52 of the views and stuff. So it's in that sort of like area southwest of Conway.
I'm looking forward to the camping part the most, to be honest with you. Like
that'll be fun, dude.
I enjoy hiking, not as much as you, but it's fun. But I haven't camped like that like since I was in Boy Scouts, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy the like being outside and having something to do while being outside, like setting up your campsite, starting your fire from scratch, all that stuff. Like, I'm into that.
Yeah, how many people are going? Is it a pretty big group?
I think it's like 12 as of right now.
Oh, that's a good size.
So it's a good size.
I feel like it's not big enough that you're not going to get to know people. Like it's kind of a nice.
It'll be cool. And it's like a 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 3-day weekend trip. So we'll have some stories about that, I'm sure. But one of the big things that I'm excited that we have planned coming up will be we're going to do a pumpkin beer blind taste test and ranking.
Yeah, while we're on the episode, so that should be fun. Yeah, we'll have to plan that for Friday or Saturday or something.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it before. You brew beer.
Yep.
I enjoy beer, drinking beer. And you've tried hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beers. I'm probably not at that level.
Well, you've tried a lot though.
But pumpkin beer, if pumpkin goes in anything, it's beer. It tastes great. It's better than being in a pumpkin latte or coffee. Pumpkin and beer go hand in hand. And I don't know if it's
like salt and pepper.
Like salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, all that stuff. So
ketchup and mustard.
No ketchup for me, please. But so we're gonna be doing a blind taste testing, trying to guess what the beer is, and then ranking those beers. So
what's the plan to do? Like 6 we're gonna do? So like we'll split 6 beers.
It's a fluid situation right now. 6, Depends on 12. How many. Yeah, 24. Who knows?
They're all shipyard pumpkin.
Oh, that'd be funny. But yeah, so that's a game plan. We'll probably do that maybe a little bit closer to October.
So are we gonna do like we'll know which beers are which, and then we just gotta like we know.
Yeah,
which
so we'll know
which
which 6 we have.
Okay,
and then. But they'll all be poured into different glasses and then numbered.
And rank.
And then...
Or I guess ranking them by...
Yeah, nope. They'll be numbered like 1 through 6. Right. And then we'll have our own little 1 through 6. And then we put like... If we thought number 3 was the best beer, we put it in spot 1. And we got to try to guess also what that beer is. So if it's like Harpoon or whatever, Harpoon Pumpkin, we say, all right, I think this one's Harpoon Pumpkin. I think this one tastes the best, and we put it in number 1.
That sounds like a fun episode.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's going to be fun. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that. So that's something that we had planned. And like I said, we'll do that closer to the beginning of October maybe, once we get back from these trips. And once it's kind of more fall spooky season.
Yeah.
Pumpkin
season. Yeah, we got
season.
like a week. It'll be fall like a week or so from today.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. And then we also have planned for another episode, maybe closer to the Halloween. We're going to do a ranking of our favorite horror movies. And I think we're going to have Ashley on for that pod because talking to her, she's a big-time horror movie fan.
She's very big into horror movies.
Yeah, she's a big horror movie fan, and I'm a big horror movie fan. So
yeah, I think I'll be mostly listening to you guys. I'll throw in some picks.
Yeah,
some picks.
good.
I think that's going to be interesting. I like hearing you guys and listening to you guys like talk about movies and stuff.
Yeah, I love watching movies, and horror movies are like I love watching horror movies. I love kind of being creeped out, spooked out. So I think that'll be fun to kind of do our ranking of horror movies and just see where we all differ, and maybe there's a consensus number one. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah,
The Shining.
The Shining is not my number one.
Never mind.
You just blew it. You can't give the people your number one already. You got to save it for the pod. I got to change it now.
It's still going to be in the top 5.
Oh, all right, man.
I'll save it for that podcast.
Yeah. So we're going to do that, like I said, a little bit closer to Halloween, the end of October. And then I think I had an idea for you. I don't know if it's something that you would want to do, but you're also hiking for charity right now.
Yes. Yeah, technically it starts this Friday. But it's basically the Taylor James Steves Foundation. It's actually geared towards raising funds for genetic lung cancer and types of lung cancer, but it kind of resonated with me since my dad passed of small cell lung cancer, which not genetic, or at least not the form that he had. But I figured we'd be out hiking anyways this fall, so might as well try to do something good with it. So
I think that'll probably be something to look forward to too. You can kind of talk about how that experience went, and then
for sure. It runs basically this Friday and then 4 weeks into October, so it's like a month.
Yeah, what is it? The 18th to the 18th or something like that? 18th to the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. So I think we'll have a chance to talk about that as well. Those are kind of some of the fun things that we had planned, and because we're always looking for content for you guys. We want to continue to bring things that people are going to enjoy, and like we said before, it's resonating with people. Resonating with different people, because the things that Nick's into, the things that I'm into, are completely different ends of the spectrum. So he gets people following him on his end. I got people following me on my end, and then we bridge the gap.
Yeah, we got the bridge the gap for sure. Yeah, it's actually called, to recorrect, it is called Tay's Summer Challenge, but the foundation is the Taylor James Steves Foundation. So. And
you go in it, and you named, what did you name your thing?
Scoutmaster Nick. Yeah, my team is Scoutmaster Nick.
Yeah, Scoutmaster Nick.
Wants to get out there and donate or anything. But yeah, it's cool. They do sort of a thing, a point system too. So there are like rewards for first, second, third. Obviously, that's not like the point of it. But basically, the goal is to try to get as much fundraising as you can, like you'd expect with any fundraiser. And then there's also like points that are based off of how much elevation gain you do over it, and you have to I think the hikes just have to be registered in all trails, so nice. Probably try to get out to some local ones. Might try to get out even, I'm hoping Saturday if the weather's not too bad up in New Hampshire, and try to just get something done.
Does it has to be only New Hampshire mountains?
No, I think it can be anywhere.
Oh, really?
They just ask that, I guess, because they have to kind of cut it somewhere, because people have like their watches that show elevation gain and all different things. Like I guess you have to use sort of the elevation that's on all trails for like the route you have, which usually is actually more than or less than they say. I mean, it can vary, but they got to cut it somewhere. I
might tag along for one or two if you stay local.
I'm sure we'll do Wachusett at least once.
Yeah, I can do Wachusett.
Yeah,
as long as I don't break my ankle again.
Yeah,
I break my ankle just getting out of bed. I broke my ankle getting out of bed.
You almost broke my ankle in your driveway. Your ankle in my driveway. Yeah. My ankle in your driveway.
I was getting out of the car at Ryland's birthday party, and for those who know me, I have the worst ankles. Everybody knows.
Hashtag basketball.
Yeah, too many years of basketball, and I was parking somebody's car at Ryland's birthday party and got out and rolled my ankle and scraped the crap out of my knee. That's still trying to heal. The lawsuit's in the mail, kid.
Yeah. I think there may have been alcohol involved.
I was kidding. Half of a beer in.
Yeah. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
No, I just have weak ankles.
Yeah. No, and it's funny, where that's rounded in our driveway, I've actually rolled my ankle there twice already. Yeah. It's just if you're not paying attention, it's just at a slant, and it just is like, whoop.
Just fill it in.
Yeah.
Get some mulch in there or something.
I do have mulch in there.
Yeah, you need more mulch. You gotta level that bad boy out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that'll be fun. But so yeah, we got a pumpkin beer episode coming up. We got the horror story episode coming up.
Yep.
I might try to dive into, maybe I'll do a short aside too, where I'm super into like the New England creepy kind of history stuff. So maybe I can bring up some of those. Maybe I could do that while we're actually doing the pumpkin beer one. Maybe
it's interesting.
Could talk about that in between beers.
The ghosts.
Yeah, the ghosts.
We went to Salem.
The trees are eating the people.
The trees are eating that guy. Mark Wahlberg. That's like the worst movie of all time, dude.
I've never watched it, but I just think of that every time I see trees. It's killing the people. The trees are killing the people.
The trees are killing people. We got to get out of here.
Let me grab a Wahlburger. Let's go.
Donnie, let's go. What? We got to get out of here.
It's the trees.
The trees are killing people. Oh, my Lord. But yeah. So, this episode's going to be a little shorter. Because you guys did 2.5 hours on the last one, so
yeah, we kind of annihilated it last time.
Yeah,
so that's what's coming up. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago, me and Ash had talked about it on the last episode. But yeah, we had Ryland's first birthday party, so that was kind of my experience. Though we knew everybody coming, so I definitely get the intimidation factor of like when you're trying to make a good impression with people because you haven't met them before,
right? And
you're trying to cook like 36 burgers,
right?
But I think I did probably around 40 burgers and 40 dogs too, so it was like right around that same ballpark. Yeah. But we had a great time. It was fun overall. She didn't like the cake at all.
No, they don't.
Funny.
First birthday
I've heard
party's
it's
tough.
Not uncommon. Like we even tried to put little cheese puffs that she loves in it, and she just didn't care about it.
Yeah. First birthday party. That's just more for the parents than the kid. Yeah, but that's okay.
We had a fun, nice Hungry Caterpillar theme. She's big into the Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah.
I like the Hungry Caterpillar. It's good vibes.
It's a good book.
My favorite part's when he eats all the junk food and he has a tummy ache and then he eats a green leaf and he's good.
Yeah, that's me.
He's like, man, he felt much better.
That's me, except that there's no green leaf. It's just a few hours on the toilet. Poop jokes.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, but it gets, they get more interesting. I can guarantee you she's going to be talking in no time, though.
Yeah, she's babbling a bunch. It's funny to hear her. We say she speaks like the Simlish. Like it's like a sim. Like she just speaks gibberish sentences, but they're like full sentences, and she's like very adamant about it. She's like, why don't you understand me? She's like, blah.
Respond to me. Say something back.
It was super funny. This weekend morning, one day we're like, she'll come and hang out in bed with us wherever we're like chilling out, and she like said this whole bunch of like basically like gibberish and stuff. And then she just looked at both me and Ashley super seriously and just was like, hi, and like waved.
Did she say hi?
Yeah. She said hi. Yeah, she says hi like occasionally, but it was just super funny. She just like dumped a load of information. Then she just stopped and looked and was like, hi. And she did like a little hand gesture. And I was like, okay.
Oh, man. That's cute.
It was pretty cute.
Yeah. That's kind of what happened with Jeremiah after he turned 1. He started talking like I think it was like a couple weeks after, like he started like really saying more words. And then I think it was like shortly after that too, we started walking. So it's right around the corner, kid. And then,
she's starting to freestand on her own stuff. She's not stepping as much. She climbs stairs like a boss. Yeah. Like just always wants to climb the stairs.
She's up and down those stairs.
Not so much down.
Not down. She's
not
up.
Down
she's going
I
up.
wish she was going down the stairs. Or I should say under her own control.
Yeah.
Just a nice reverse crawl. Slowly and surely.
Once they have the freedom to move on their own, dude, that's when it gets real scary, because now you have to make sure like everything that's breakable is like out of reach, because who knows what room they're going to be in at any second. It's wild. Enjoy. Enjoy.
Josh was like, have fun.
Yeah. Don't worry though. I'll help you out. I'll give you some tips and tricks.
You just want to put pillows on all the walls.
Tip 1, until they can get out of the crib, that's the best place for them to be.
Go in here. Think you can climb?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a really good time though. Obviously you guys came over and we had a bunch of family and friends. And everybody gets along.
Tony was being the valet.
My father-in-law gets stung in the lip by a bumblebee.
Oh yeah, he did.
You did try to warn him.
I tried to save him.
I validated that from several people.
The bee landed.
Apparently they like Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
They might be the only ones. But we're not doing that one in the pumpkin beer tasting. It landed like right on the lip of the bottle, like right as he was gonna go take a sip. It was a bang bang play.
Yeah, it was.
There was nothing that could have been done. Poor guy.
Yeah, at least he figured out he could take Benadryl later.
Yeah.
So I guess that helped. But he said he was joking. He's like, I went there and I got like a Kardashian lip job.
Yeah, he got
for free.
Oh man, I can't, like, if I take Benadryl, it just makes me fall asleep like immediately.
Yeah, apparently when he was going to buy it, and I think it's just because of other like medications he's on or whatever, just to make sure it's not conflicting with anything. But I guess when he went there, the pharmacist was telling him that most people that buy it use it to fall asleep. I don't know if it's like the antihistamines in it or like something, but it has something in it that makes you drowsy.
I think it's like a new thing too. Like I think there's really? It's like a viral thing, like that kids are like taking Benadryl. Dude.
That's great.
And it's like, yeah, it's like killing people.
That's
It's wild because it's easy to get, and it does jack you up. Like I said, I fall asleep like instantly, and I sleep hard. Like when you wake up the next morning,
you're wondering like what happened.
Yeah, you wake up the next morning, you like don't even know where you are, and you're like, oh, I'm in my bed. How did I get here? Oh yeah, the Benadryl.
You just see the empty packets.
It was only 2. Oh man.
But yeah, apparently also still works for bee stings. So yeah, that was the only really casualty I'd say that we had.
Yeah.
And your injury.
Oh, my ankle and my knee.
Yeah, we already mentioned that.
Just bleeding all over your house.
You found a Band-Aid.
Try to stop the bleeding.
Just a trail of blood.
At one point, I think I was outside and blood was just trickling down my leg, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I gotta go back inside and clean myself up.
Just rub some dirt in it.
Yeah, people are gonna think I'm like a hobo.
Yeah, especially because you're moving people's cars and stuff. You don't want to drip any blood in there.
Yeah. I don't know how I got wrangled into that.
I care about Josh's injury, everybody. I showed him where the Band-Aids were. Or told you, at least.
I know. It wasn't enough, though. There was nothing you could do. It's not your fault. I have no ligaments in my ankle. I can roll my ankle on a carpet. It's crazy.
I actually hadn't rolled mine in a wicked long time because I like tore one of the tendons in my ankle playing soccer when I was probably like 16 or 15. Yeah. So like my right ankle kind of sucks. And out of all the places, I think hiking, not that I wish I rolled my ankle, but I literally rolled it in the driveway washing my car.
Oh, God.
Like probably a month and a half ago.
Yeah. You never feel more unathletic than like rolling your ankle doing the most mundane thing.
Because there's always that split second where you're like, crap. Like I just did it.
Like I talked
before it actually hurts at all. You're just like, oh,
yep,
there it is.
I'm boned. Yeah, like that was like why what I just brought up when I rolled my ankle when we hiked Wachusett. It was literally on the walk on the
literally on like the
path back to the car.
The carriage road back to the car. Meanwhile, you're like hopping down like scrambles and ledge and rocks and all this type of stuff.
It's just when you take your eye off the ground for like 1 second. Like
it's when they'll get you.
Snaps.
Friend of the podcast, Mike, and I were hiking Moose Lock one time, and it was like on the flattest section, and he tripped over like maybe a 1-inch rock sticking out of the ground and like ate it like hard. Oh. Like he like got air. Like he was walking with enough forward momentum that I was like, whoop.
Oh, it happens though.
Yeah, call those ankle biters. We'll get you.
Jumping right out of the bushes at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically the preview for the fall. We have a lot of fun stuff that we're really looking forward to.
I love the fall.
Yeah, I love fall too. I gotta get my fireplace working. They didn't wire it. They didn't wire it. I gotta have friend of the podcast Adam wire it. That's me giving you notice right now, buddy. So just let me know when you're free. Oh man,
just a heads up.
Yeah, just
call me when you get a few.
Yeah. But,
that's how you know if he really listens or not.
Oh, yeah, he definitely listens. I know he listens. He definitely does. But, yeah, I can't wait. So, and I got to get a fire pit, I think.
And do you want to, like, build one or buy, like, a portable one?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I ended up making a circle of rocks just in our yard.
Yeah.
Kind of works. But you know what? You got to find somewhere you don't care about, like, burning.
Yeah. My father, like, oh, man, genius. He was the cheapest person of all time. I love it, though. But, so he built so they have like those new smokeless fire pits?
Yeah, the solo stoves.
Yeah.
They're on they're advertised on every podcast except ours.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Because Big Randy was making the solo stove before it was a solo stove. So what he did was he would like find old like washing machines and pull the drum out of the washing machine, and then take an old rim from a car tire, and he would bolt the the washing machine drum to the car tire rim. And then there was
That's legit.
Yeah, it was
just like a freestanding.
It was a freestanding fire pit.
That's awesome. Because the washer drums usually have like they're perforated, right? Like that.
Yeah, they have all the holes. They have all the little holes in them.
That's legit.
And then they don't like.
Let's do that.
Might as well, dude. Yeah, might as well do that.
PUDs Podcast goes to the junkyard.
We'd be pulling over. I'm telling you, we'd be driving down the street on the way to school or something, and you'd see a washing machine out there. Pull over, just rip out the drum,
That's
and then
awesome.
Another fire pit ready to go.
That's
yeah,
legit.
It was crazy, dude. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and it worked. Like,
I bet it worked great.
Yeah, we had that fire pit for years, and we dumped gasoline in there. And we have these huge fires, and it keeps everything contained. Like, it was wild. It was like genius. Now solo stove, $300.
Yeah, I don't know what I guess they're amazing. I haven't actually seen one in action, but
yeah, smokeless. I guess nobody likes to smoke.
Yeah.
No, nobody likes the smoke in their face. Everybody moves away from the smoke. I get it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'd like to get one of those for the yard. I want to get a burn barrel too because I'm gonna have a million leaves and branches and twigs.
You can't just blow them out.
I can, but
okay.
I like to burn things.
Okay. Fair.
When you were a kid, did you just like...
Josh is like, aren't you the person who like burns furniture in your backyard that you don't need anymore?
When you were a kid, did you just like burn things?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Me too.
Yeah, me and friend of the podcast, Nate, went through a big pyrotechnic phase.
Just burn stuff.
Yeah, or pyromaniac phase.
Yeah.
Pyrotechnics. Well, we would have liked pyrotechnics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely used to just light fires in my parents' backyard. That was a big thing when I was in high school and college. Like, we'd all just... Like my friends and stuff would just come over to my parents' house and we just light fires in the backyard and just hang out, play apples to apples and stuff.
Yeah, just like random fires in random places.
Yep,
that's kid stuff. That's what that's why we love doing it now.
Yeah,
but yeah,
feeds that inner child.
Yeah. So that's the fall preview.
Yeah.
You ready to get into the descent?
Yeah, let's do it. Anything? What you watching? I just finished Succession. Freaking great.
Succession's awesome.
It was great. The ending was awesome. I really enjoyed the ending.
That last season was like it gave me anxiety.
Yeah, because it's just like intense.
There's a lot happening. That show was really good. For anybody who hasn't watched Succession yet, if you have HBO and you haven't watched it, like take the time. It's really
yeah, and actually it's just called Max now too. Like I don't get why HBO changed it to HBO. It went from HBO Max and it's just called Max.
It's just Max. Yeah, it's just Max.
I don't know, I think that's just them rebranding it. It's like how Dunkin' Donuts is now just Dunkin' everywhere.
Yeah. So for what I've been watching, I watched. There's a show. There's another show on Max. It's actually a documentary miniseries. It's called Telemarketers.
Huh.
So it's about these guys. Back in I think it was the early 90s, they ended up getting a contract with the fraternity of police. So what they would do is...
What is the fraternity of police?
It's just like their union or something like that.
Okay.
But what they would do is they would give them whatever, say $30,000 for their charity.
Uh-huh.
And then the fraternity of police would say, you can now collect donations using our saying that you're calling on behalf of the fraternity of the Brotherhood of the Fraternity of Police, something like that. And they just could keep 90% of the money and give them, they only had to give the fraternity, the police fraternity 10%.
Oh, geez.
So this guy made millions of dollars basically scamming people into thinking that they're donating their money to the police.
Is it like a documentary style miniseries?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Wild.
Yeah, so it's a documentary.
I love those types of things. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
So I watched that. That was really good. And then if you have Netflix, I watched. It was the. Have you watched any of the Untolds?
Yeah,
the sports ones.
I think I've watched all of them at this point, actually.
So we watched the steroid one with Balco, the Barry Bonds.
Is that one did that just come out?
I think a couple weeks ago.
It was on Netflix, right?
On Netflix,
okay.
Yeah. That one's really, especially if you follow baseball that time, when all the steroid, the Balco stuff came out, or the early 2000s. It's really good. There's a lot of information. Talks about the investigation. Is
that still with that was with Mark
Mark
McGuire and all those guys, right?
Like Marion Jones, people forget about. She was the Olympic runner. She was involved in that. There was another Olympic runner that was involved in that. Barry Bonds was obviously.
Was it just one doctor that was doing this stuff, or was it?
Dude, the guy was.
What's his name?
The guy wasn't even a doctor.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. Like you got to watch it.
Okay. I don't want to give too much away on that one because that's like a more recent thing. But okay, cool. I'm definitely gonna check those out.
Yeah.
The Untold, like I love the Malice in the Palace one, and some.
I love the Malice in the Palace one. I love that one. Ron Artest is an absolute maniac. I love it. But yeah, so that's really good. And then I just want to plug again the charity that you're hiking for. If you want to talk about that one more time, maybe share the link in the Instagram.
I'll throw it when I probably post up this episode and say that it's open. But the foundation again is the Taylor James Steves Foundation, and it's called Tay's Summit Challenge. Just a little bit brief description on that. Kind of where it comes from. I didn't mention it earlier, but I guess they lost one of their friends who was pretty young to a genetic form of lung cancer. Who enjoyed hiking and was very, very super active, I guess, like a guy you never think would get it. And just kind of also learned the fact too, like lung cancer is like apparently the second most common cause of death among cancer and types of cancer in the US, but it gets like the least amount of money.
Which is crazy.
Which is wild. I think, I don't know if a lot of it, like I would have to guess it's because life expectancy and things like that after you get diagnosed are probably worse odds than a lot of other types of cancer. But yeah, I'll post up the link to that. Again, just sort of resonated with me with what's going on in my life. So going to be out hiking anyway, so I figured might as well do something good with it. Josh coined my name, Scoutmaster Nick.
Scoutmaster Nick.
That was on the trail one time because I think I was just not shutting up about hiking probably, and Josh was like asking questions and stuff.
It's because, so the reason I started calling you Scoutmaster Nick is because you would always come with these, like this information about where we were, what we were doing, like a kind of plant or an animal, like moose are crepuscular animals. Yeah. Like you would come up with that stuff, and I'd be like, it reminded me of Boy Scouts, so I started saying, okay, Scoutmaster Nick, and then it took a turn, and it got into all the tropes that the Boy Scouts.
We got into some territory. What Josh is also not mentioning is that as he started going along, he'd do a voice like, "Hey, Scoutmaster Nick, does moose always really grow on the north side of the tree?" Or things like that. So it's like it wasn't just like he's sitting there being like, "Hey, Scoutmaster Nick," like he does it like in this cheery kind of voice, like, and he's trying to mock me.
Hey, Scoutmaster Nick, what kind of tree is that?
Is that a maple leaf on the ground, or is that an oak leaf? But yeah,
shut up, Timmy.
It's something like that. I was like, you're wondering, like, how many badges do you have? I got all the badges.
We could get into that stuff.
Oh gosh,
that's actually good stuff.
There's many like, I think sort of we go back and forth like sketch comedy style inside jokes, which just continue all the time.
Yeah, we got to get those on. We got to get those on TikTok or something.
Gotta monetize that.
Yeah. Gotta figure out how to make money on this. Oh man. But I actually wanted to plug one more thing too. It's actually friend of the podcast, Adam. His mother and stepfather Phil, his mother Paula and stepfather Phil, I think I don't know if it was a year ago, 2 years ago now, his brother actually passed away. And they started a nonprofit organization called Achieve Greatness. So I wanted to kind of give that a little shout out. They're doing good things in the community.
That's awesome. I'll have to link that out.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff. I know they were in the vineyard over the summer doing like a basketball. I think it was a little tournament over there. So they're trying to raise awareness for like fentanyl deaths and stuff like that. Yeah, so I just wanted to give them a shout out because I've been friends with them and Adam and his family for a long time. So. And I know it was a tough loss for them, so I wanted to just kind of bring some awareness to their nonprofit organization that they got going on. So
yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome for such a horrible thing too.
Some good came out. It's tough, man. It's tough when you lose anybody. So just check them out. We'll share those. We'll share those links for Nick's the charity he's hiking for and for their nonprofit organization. We'll share that out on the Instagram. But yeah, let's not end on a somber note.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we need something to pick this up.
Yeah. We'll have Jeremiah tell a joke here, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good. Lighten the mood a little bit.
Do you want to tell a joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
I didn't mean to podcast you.
All right, man.
All right.
Bippity boppity. Give me the zoppity.
Bye. PUDs Podcast was produced and recorded in Black Cat Studios by the Pud Boys. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving us a review and subscribing. Find us on social media, and we'll see you next time.